Stop breaking your body while trying to heal it. This is what I see so often, and I want to shout from the rooftops that it does not have to be this way. The reason your body is tired, your brain is foggy, your temper is sharp, may have nothing to do with needing more detoxes, cleanses, perfect supplement regimens, days planned out from sunrise to sunset, and everything to do with simple daily tools that have been known for generations to renew and heal us. For years, women have been taught to force their bodies into healing through harsher detoxes, stricter diets, constant restriction, only to end up more exhausted. Is that you? Only to end up more exhausted and inflamed and frustrated and discouraged. But true healing doesn't begin by tearing the body down. I'm going to say that again. True healing does not begin by tearing the body down. And this has been perpetuated in culture. You have to break down a home and then build it from the foundation. And that's not the case. Not every home needs to be turned into rubble before we build it back beautifully. Some just need a little bit of renovation. This begins by making our body feel safe enough to rebuild. When the nervous system and the digestion and blood sugar, sleep, and those foundations are supported first, the body can finally begin to heal in a way that God designed it to. Before cleansing always comes strengthening. Before release comes safety. And when a woman stops fighting her body and starts supporting it, everything changes. This is where your body will no longer drain you from your calling. It will finally have the strength to carry you through your calling. By the way, my name is Jamie McQuivey. I am a holistic nutritionist and digestive specialist, and after 20 years of working with hundreds and hundreds of women, I'm here to help high-performing Christian women heal burnout, digestion, and hormones so that you can live your divine assignment, the assignment God has given you inside your heart. And in this video, I'm going to show you what you have accidentally been doing that is destroying your body. We will cover what detoxes, cleanses, and trying to heal out of order is costing you, and when you give your body tools for healing rather than depleting, and how that restores it. So by the end, you will have 5 science and history backed practices to stop burnout and finally feel like yourself again so you can fully show up for the life God called you to. The 5th practice will save you thousands of dollars, and you can do it anytime and anywhere. So stay tuned. So let's dive in. Here's what most women get wrong when they're trying to heal their body. And I did the same thing. I am not an exception to this. And if you watch any of my other videos, you know that my mess became my message. And I didn't feel supported. I didn't get help. I didn't get direction. I kind of had to muddle through it by myself. And then I started, getting an education for it. But I want to tell you that the first thing that is so important is that you're trying to heal out of order. And I did a video on this, and I'll link it right here. There are 5 phases of healing. And so when we are skipping and we are coming in at detox, or we're coming in at healing hormones, and we're trying to do that first, we're actually not addressing the root cause and getting down to a great foundation. That is going to cause a lot of depletion. We always want to replete before we deplete, so it's not costing us so much. The second thing is that most of us are already running on empty. I can't tell you how many clients I've had come to me and they've done the fasting and the detoxes and all of these things that are just so depleting, and they're even using depleting herbs and depleting lifestyles, and they come to me going, I wonder why I feel horrible. And I go, oh my goodness, sweetie. And so we start doing all these amazing things that start repleting. Libidos come back, clear thinking comes back, sleeping comes back, energy comes back. We don't want to be running on empty and have our bodies go into that debt. But think of like trying to pay off a credit card by spending more money. And that's what keeps happening here. Now, the third thing is that your body already feels unsafe. We know this when we're starting to have things like anxiety, sleeplessness, fatigue, brain fog. It's like things are shutting down because a lot of people think our nervous system's job is to make us calm. We're in rest and digest, and that's its job. It's not. It's to keep you alive. If it doesn't feel safe, it'll keep sending signals repeatedly, and it gets stuck in a loop. We want to gently step out of that loop instead of continue to do things that push. Now, I lived in China for a year, and then we traveled to Tibet. And one of the things I learned about Americans or our culture is that we just push. We just keep pushing. And when we're tired, we push through it instead of take a nap. When we're thirsty, we don't drink. It's really important that we start to do the things that help our body feel safe. When resources are low, your body chooses protection over progress every time. Every time. And that's its job. When we are wanting to heal our bodies, really truly heal. And when I talk about heal, I'm not just talking about wellness, I'm talking about a lifestyle of embodiment of healing. Then it needs to be long term. The next thing that women don't understand is that they can't expect healing signals to turn on in a system that can't even run basic functions. If we can't even digest, if we can't even sleep, what on earth makes us think that we can balance hormones, that we can not suffer from depression and anxiety and these other things? Those are higher functions just out of the gate. Are we digesting? Are we absorbing? Are we excreting? Are we breathing correctly? Are our kidneys open? And that's a whole other video, but I want you to know that if your body can't do the basic functions, it can't do the higher functions. Without building reserves first, even the best protocols become another stressor your body has to survive, not heal from. We really want to just create this beautiful environment where your body goes, oh, I'm safe, I have all the tools I need, and let's do what I was designed to do, because we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And oftentimes I have women come and they do have this feeling of, my body has stopped working for me, it has lied to me, it has deserted me, and it's not true. We have just these amazing bodies that are trying everything it can do. It's like a MacGyver, right? So it's trying to build a mini mall with gum wrappers and straws, and we're wondering why, one, it's taking so long, and two, it doesn't look right or perfect. So we actually want to give our body the correct tools. So stay with me, because this next part is crucial. When we give the body the right tools first, the nervous system shifts out of survival and into safety, where healing actually happens. So this is what starts to happen when your body has the tools for healing. It also starts to replete and restore energy levels. Now we're digesting. Now we're getting hormones. Remember, hormones aren't just things. They're signalers. They signal to everything. You start to balance digestion, and now we can have signals going. I mean, it just starts synergistically working together. But like I said before, a lot of people are trying to balance hormones first when we need to be healing digestion first. We want the detox pathways to work together, not to compete. So your body starts responding to support instead of fighting it. I want you to think of, maybe like a scared, abused dog. It's going to take time to help that puppy to feel calm and collected and to really pull them out. And then they can start eating and playing and feeling safe. This progress feels easier and more natural when it's not forced, when it's just gently supported. Now, when we give the body tools for healing, we also have inflammation in our bodies that will start to calm down, as well as reactivity. I know that I'm getting out of balance when I'm feeling super irritated, right? And so it was kind of funny, because I had a friend of mine, and she hasn't been a friend for terribly long, but she said to me, Jamie, you're just always so calm and collected. Why is that? What's your secret? And I said, oh my gosh, my mom would laugh, because that has not always been the case. In fact, I was known for my fiery disposition, and now I'm still passionate about what I do, but there's no anger behind it. Those reactivity things start to go down. We start to think clearly, feel good, and start to introduce joy back into our lives. Healing becomes very sustainable when your body is finally built up, it's repaired, and it can regulate instead of constantly making up for what is missing and trying to work with no tools or no experience. You've heard this, you can't pour from an empty cup, but more importantly, you can't heal from an empty well. And so the body always will prioritize, and it will prioritize just staying alive before it ever prioritizes your comfort, right? I really had to learn that and go, oh my goodness, for years and years, I was mad at my body because I was uncomfortable. My digestion was off, my hormones were off, my emotions were crazy, I had brain fog. But then when I learned about this, I realized, oh my goodness, I'm still alive. My urinary system's working. My skeletal system, I'm still walking. Like there's so many things that it's like the body was like, hey, I'm prioritizing keeping you alive. And then as I started giving my body really what it needed, it was like, oh, we can do this. And so that really made a difference. Now, the part that you've been waiting for, the real tools, the fifth practice has been used for 1,000 years and will save you thousands of dollars, and you can do it anytime and anywhere. But I wanted to share with you why what you're doing hasn't been working, and when you start doing, how it starts working. Let's now talk about the practices. These are science-backed and also history-backed practices that are super wonderful at calming the body, and we'll talk about each one individually. But the first one I'm going to talk about is probably my favorite. I have been doing it since I was 8 years old, and it has brought me so much peace and joy, and many of you will relate, let's say. So the first one is crochet, or I'm going to put in crochet and knitting. Right? And so these hand practices. And I find it so interesting that when the COVID shutdown happened, there was a resurgence of things like embroidery, crochet, knitting, those type of things that help us to concentrate. So during World War I, British and American military doctors noticed soldiers with shell shock, so what we know now is PTSD, improved when given slow, repetitive hand tasks. So these activities were used, and of course they didn't understand everything that was going on. I don't think we even understand, but they understood how valuable this was. These activities helped rebuild attention and routine. They helped regulate nervous system. They restored a sense of control and usefulness, and they reduced rumination and intrusive thoughts through focused movement. I want to stop there for a minute because we think that we're just crocheting, but if you are a crocheter or a knitter or whatever, I would suggest spending several minutes, 10 minutes, 20, 30 while you're doing it without the TV on, without a podcast, without outside distraction. And one of my favorite things to do that just totally calms me and resets me is I'm a crocheter. I know how to knit, I know how to embroider a little bit and these other practices, but I love to crochet. And I will use breath work with it and a mantra. So I can do something, I love scripture mantras. And so as I breathe in and I'm crocheting for 2 stitches, I'll say, be still as I inhale, and as I exhale, I do 4 stitches and know that I am God. And I do it repeatedly and repeatedly. So I'm training my brain, I'm calming my nervous system, I'm doing my breath work. The more you get to know me, you'll know that I like what my mother used to lovingly call twofers. If I can get 2 for the price of 1, I'm going to do that. If I can get 5 for the price of 1. So I like to combine those 3 practices, crochet with breath work and mantra. All right, the rhythm of the hands actually calms the rhythm of the mind. So you actually don't want to do it fast. And I think people will try to do things and get projects done super fast. But the idea is to calm down and be intentional. You don't have to be good at it, and it's the process that counts. So you don't have to think about, going and selling your wares or anything. I've actually had a lot of people, because I do sweaters and I do lots of things like that. And they're like, oh, and hats. Oh, you should sell your stuff. And I was like, you know what? This is my space for calm and joy, and I don't need to put a price on it. Okay, the second practice is one of my favorites, and I do it with my daughter-in-law. And it's actually one of the first things we did together. We connected on. I was doing a puzzle. So it's a puzzle. And she's like, oh, I love puzzles. I said, come on over. And so we sit here for hours, and we don't always talk, but we do a little bit here and there. But what it does is it helps your brain to stop overthinking and worrying. And this really helps her, because she has been in a couple environments that are high stress and anxiety. And so it helps calm that alarm system in our brain, that stress response, and allows your mind to focus and get a break from the stress. So there's things like jigsaw puzzles, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, anything that requires just that gentle focus. I actually like jigsaw puzzles for this. I also have word finds that I enjoy as well. Remember that this is not about how fast we can do it, and it's not wasted time. It's nervous system medicine. These are things you can do with friends or with your kids or by yourself, and just enjoy. So you're going to notice that the pattern here is about joy, right? So don't put this on your list as another thing to do. I've got to do this. Check, check, check. Instead, have it be something about joy and rejoicing. These are some of the things I love doing. And so it's not a chore. It's something I actually look forward to doing. It's not something that kind of gets put on the bottom of my list, because I really do enjoy it. But it actually comes into my life and stays there, and I can embody the practice of nervous system regulation. All right, the third practice is neuro drawing. And this is one of my more recent ones, but it helps both sides of the brain work together. And you could just research. So let's go back for a minute. Crochet, there's people online who are always teaching how to crochet. Puzzles, getting these puzzles, I just get mine off of Amazon. And I have a favorite puzzle maker, and I'm trying to remember his name. He has distinctive puzzles. And this third one, there are people who are teaching this neuro drawing. It helps emotions settle and feels less intense. This calms your nervous system, again, through slow, steady movement. This is simple bilateral, so each side drawing exercise, tracing shapes with both hands, mirror drawing, things like that. And it's no artistic skill is needed, just that movement and presence. And sometimes we can do it with our body. My mom used to do this with my little sister who had epilepsy, and she had a couple of grand mal seizures in a row. And of course, this is 20 something years ago. But my mom was really onto something. She had her stand on a board that was on kind of this half ball, and it made her have to balance and use both sides of her brain, and while at the same time do infinities across, and then the same, and then switch, and helped reconnect her brain. And it was really cool to watch her do that. The fourth practice, and this one is super amazing because it's fun to do, and I think all of us do it. But I didn't realize how powerful it was until a couple of years ago. So it's the practice of humming, right? So we all hum along to songs, maybe to ourselves, but this humming actually sends calming signals to your nervous system through the vagus nerve. Now, that's another buzzword. We don't have to get into the science of it, but it helps your body shift out of that stress mode really easy. And some people will hum along to a song or hum a song, and some people will strictly just hum like, that was one of my favorites. Just kind of sit down, And when I meditate, I do this candle gazing sometimes, and I love it. I used to do it with my kids. Every day we would try to do just a little bit of a meditation practice to get them to calm before bed. Each one of them would have this little candle, and they could light their candle and then do this practice. And if they did really good, they could blow out their own candle. It was just kind of a silly game that we played. And I would have them breathe in and then hum as long as they could at their own pace while they stared at this little candle, and it totally began calm their nervous system, get them ready for bed. This helps us breathe better. It helps us feel more relaxed. It also is something that you can do again while you're cooking, while you're driving, while you're folding laundry, during your meditation practice, during your prayer, during all of those things. I used to actually do it when I was running. I was a runner for a while, and I would inhale and then exhale. I would hum all the way out and then inhale and do it. So there's lots of ways you can do it. And it sounds simple because it is. And this is why it works. You can incorporate it. It's free. It's with you all the time. Real quick, if this has blessed you so far and you feel like you've gotten anything out of it, please like and subscribe and share it with someone who you think will benefit. My fifth practice, this is the one. This is so powerful. And it is self-massage with oil. And I know you're like, okay, well, that doesn't seem so big. Ayurveda, which is like Chinese medicine, but it's for another part of the world. They've been around for at least 2,000 years, and Abhyanga is what they call it. It's a Sanskrit word. And no, this is not yoga or anything like that. It's actually a medicine practice. And it is massaging your body with oil. And you can do this. I'm a massage therapist, and I would teach people when they couldn't come every day, you know, maybe they're hurt or they're working on things, a couple of times a week between sessions, I would show them how to do this self-massage. Now, in this particular self-massage, you're using a lot of oil, not just a little bit, not just a teaspoon or a tablespoon here or there. It's traditionally used, you would use like a quarter to a half cup. So you don't have to use that much, but I'm just telling you traditionally how it's done. It is one of the most powerful practices that has been used for thousands of years and across cultures. So this tells your body it is safe and can relax. It helps move blood and fluids through the body better, and it helps you feel more connected and calm in your body. Again, this isn't something to do to a TV show or to a lot of music. It's to do very intentionally, and it's the act of touching your own body and really massaging that rewires the nervous system for trust. I teach this complete practice in depth in my course, and I've connected it with something called Touch for Health, where we're actually using a lot of the body's points for healing and pressure points, massage points, to really take this deeper. This is how important doing these practices is. I have an entire part of my course dedicated to tools like this. If you want to head over into the show notes, my free training is there to get you started. If you're wondering what order the phase you should be in for optimal healing, check out this link. But let's get back. So Mary anointed Jesus with oil in John 12. It was an act of honor, presence, and care. And that's what massage is. Self-massage, especially. Oil has been used as sacred for anointing, for healing, for setting apart. So when you practice self-massage, you're honoring the body God gave you. And a little side note, in Sanskrit, so this is an ancient language, the word for oil is sneha. The word for love is sneha. And so by loving yourself, oiling yourself, you allow your nervous system and your body to begin to really heal while it's being nourished. So if you only got one thing from this video, make it this. Your body does not heal from pressure. It heals from safety. It heals from support. It heals from simple tools that calm your nervous system so you can do what God designed it to do. It can finally heal. So stop depleting, start repleting. And ask yourself this question. There is so much noise out there, so much out there. And it's very masculine information. I love the masculine and feminine, but we're not getting enough feminine as women. So we have people telling us, try harder, do more, this practice. And I want you to ask yourself, is what I'm doing or being told to do nurturing, supportive, and gentle? And if not, let it go. And it doesn't mean let it go forever, but let it go right now. There is no gain in pain. So we keep hearing no pain, no gain. That is not true. There is a lot of gain when we lay the pain down and really start to love and nurture ourselves. If there were gain in pain, we all wouldn't be here right now, because we know how to push, we know how to struggle, we know how to try harder, we know how to do all of that, and it hasn't worked. Maybe it's time to try something different. I had a client come in, several clients, but I'm going to talk about this specific client. She came in, she was doing the cleanses, she was doing all the detoxes, she was having green smoothies for breakfast, all of these cold and depleting practices, and there was like 5 or 10 of them. And she came in, she couldn't sleep, her energy was low, brain fog, her periods were painful, all of this stuff. So when she came to me, we gave her a set of practices, and she was like, wait, you want me to eat this type of food? You want me to do this type of lifestyle practices? And she goes, it seems so easy. And I was like, they're powerful practices and they feel good. And so she went home and she tried, and within 2 weeks, she was like, Jamie, so many things have changed. And within 3 months, she was a new person, because it didn't take more of her suffering and striving. It actually took more rest. It took more rebuilding and repleting. It is incredibly important that you remember that there are principles that God has given us for healing. There are patterns, and inside those patterns is order. And it is important to do all things in order. There's a time and a season for everything. So watch the video in order. Choose one practice from today that brings your soul joy. Be renewed by it, not as another task, but as a gift. Again, join my free training, the 7-Day Digestive Reset Kit for high-performing Christian women. The link is in the description. It is completely free, and the exact starting point I give every woman I work with. There is an order and a need for a strong, strong foundation. Your body is ready to stop surviving and to start thriving. Remember that God built your body and He knows how to heal it if we just listen to Him and align with His principles. Until next time.